Good morning. Welcome back to today's market outlook. My name is Edmund, and today is a very beautiful Tuesday, 16th of June 2020. Okay, a very interesting event happened over the last 12 hours or so, where the Federal Reserve made a special announcement on its emergency lending program. So, before we get into the details of the Federal Reserve announcement, which was made early this morning at 2 a.m. local Singapore time, we're going to have a look and see what is coming up today on the economic calendar. Today's economic calendar is relatively busy. We're going to start off with the German final consumer price index numbers coming out at 2 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time. And we'll be following up the event with another important data, but this time it's coming out from the UK. We will be having the claimant count change. This is pretty much similar to the US unemployment claims data. So from the UK, the claimant count change numbers basically means that how many UK citizens are looking for social or unemployment benefits from the government for the last reporting period. Okay, we will also be having the unemployment rate coming out from the UK at 2 p.m. So a quick look onto the economic calendar on Forex Factory. Okay, so as we can see at 2 p.m. claimant count change for today is expected to come in at 405,000 UK citizens looking for unemployment claims. The unemployment rate is forecast to come in at 4.7%, higher than the previous reading of 3.9%. So again, if any reading that comes in better than 4.7% or lower than the 405,000 UK citizens claiming for unemployment benefits, theoretically it should be positive for the UK pound. Okay, but bear in mind the UK pound from yesterday until this morning has been pretty bullish. Okay, I'll explain shortly why is it bullish for the last almost 18 hours now. Okay, so coming back to this economic calendar, so the first major event to watch out for will be from the UK at 2 p.m. claimant count change and also the unemployment rate. It is expected to have an impact on the UK pound, easily moving it between 50 to 100 pips or maybe more. Okay, so moving towards the afternoon, later in the afternoon at 5 p.m. we will be having German ZEW economic sentiment numbers and also the economic sentiment for the Eurozone. Moving on towards the evening session from the US tonight, we will be having the core retail sales numbers, and at 9:15 p.m. we will be having the capacity utilization rate and also the monthly industrial production numbers. Okay, Federal Reserve Chairman Mr. Jerome Powell will be testifying in front of Congress tonight. So tonight will be the beginning of a two-day session with Congress for Mr. Jerome Powell to update the Congress on the developments of the US economy. Okay, so moving on to the latest happenings like I mentioned just now. First of all, before I get into the Federal Reserve announcement, we can see that the US dollar actually moved back down after it was recovering for 2 days. So risk sentiment increased again on the news that the US Federal Reserve will begin to buy individual US corporate bonds. This is actually the purchasing of corporate bonds is actually one of the measures that the Federal Reserve announced in the middle of March as the US stock markets was crashing and the economy was slowing down, and also we have the unemployment rates jumping up to a high of about 16%. Okay, and of course the labor market in the US where job losses peaked at a high of 20 million jobs lost over the month of May. So this corporate buying program is in other words is actually called quantitative easing. So to provide funds to support the economy and to provide loans to small businesses, large businesses, and also to US citizens in general, they have to fund it by purchasing corporate bonds. Okay, so the different thing is that since the since the end of March, when these lending programs, or what we call emergency lending programs, came into the market in the US. They were usually purchasing or funded by exchange traded funds only, and this is the first time that the Federal Reserve is focusing on the purchases of individual corporate bonds. Okay, so this program is under the Secondary Market Corporate Credit Facility. Okay, that was a mouthful. I'll try that again. So this program is under the Secondary Market Corporate Credit Facility, that again is looking to finance and to fund the quantitative easing programs that the US has launched. So as mentioned, this is there are actually 9 emergency programs altogether. So this SMCCF is just one of them, and it has a capacity of 250 billion. Altogether, all the 9 lending programs has a total fund size of about 3 trillion US dollars to again support and recover the US economy. Okay, so this major event was an unscheduled event. It was actually announced in the last minute. Okay, as you can see, it was at Tuesday, 2 a.m. Fed announcement. Okay, so again, this was unscheduled. It's a random event. The frequency is random. So, but this did have an impact on the markets, where we can see that even before 2 a.m., we can see that number one, the US dollar index was trading mostly in a range for the most of yesterday, and just at about 2 a.m., we can see that the US dollar weakened back. Okay, there's a gap here. Possibly it means that the announcement was a bit unexpected, and it formed a big gap once the announcement was made. Okay, so we're gonna have a look and see how it impacted the markets shortly. So that is the wrap up for the market drivers and also the news and events which are coming up, which came out for the last 24 hours, and for the next 24 hours, this is what we will be looking for. So again, pay attention to the market during 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. local Singapore and Malaysia time, and towards the evening, definitely we're going to see some market movements again. It could begin as early as 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So let us go on to the technical charts analysis section.